Hey there, my friends. There are two crucial things you need to know about these Lantern speakers before you spend your money on them. I'm going to talk about those two things in just a second, but first, let's go over some of the features and what it's like to actually use these. I'm also going to answer the most common questions on Amazon around battery life and sound quality. So as you can see, these are a lantern-shaped Bluetooth speaker, and I think they look so cool, especially as in dusk time, nighttime, you have this nice flicker candle look to it, but also you have a pretty good quality sound coming out of the speaker. I am not going to pretend like these speakers are of JBL quality or something like that, but what they do is the job. So when we're hanging out around the campfire and we have these lanterns out, one, they just look cool. They add to the ambiance. But two, at a low level, the music sounds fantastic. We could take it to a higher level, but they do have their limits. I will say for the money that we spent on them, I think they're an excellent investment. I also love that it camouflages the speaker. I don't have to have a big ugly speaker hanging around. So let's talk about some of the physical features of this. This is obviously the lantern unit itself has a cool little handle. If you were to hang this handle or hang it on something that already exists, this is one of the ways that you can mount, is this S-clip onto the handle. I'm gonna talk about a couple of other ways to mount this in just a second, and our favorite way to mount it. It has a nice flat bottom with a rubber bottom as well, so you can just set them right on the countertop as well. We'll do that. We'll set them on our picnic table while we're playing cards or whatever, and they add a nice ambiance with both light and sound. Now you have all of your controls here at the top. So on the top here, you have the power button. The power button is for the music. Separate is the light button. So right here in the middle, you have the light button, and there's 3 different modes on the light. So right now you have flicker, then you have just solid and brighter solid, and then off. So each time you hit that, just cycles through each one of those settings. Up here, you also have plus and minus. These will work for volume and track. So if you want them to change the volume, just hit them once. If you want to change the track, you hold them down. Then you also have a play pause button right here. And then you also have the Bluetooth sync button right here. Now the package that we bought came with 2 of these. The cool thing about this brand, and I've bought a couple of different sets of their speakers, I love that they sync together. So we can have 2 speakers out there at the campfire. They're playing the exact same thing. And so it's coming from different directions. You can get a little bit more volume out of it. I find that to be really, really helpful. The speaker is down here around the bottom of the unit, and the charging is right here. So you have a USB-C port right there, that's how you charge it. And then you have an auxiliary cable, so you can plug something like an MP3 player into this or something if you want to use an auxiliary cable. Let's talk about charging for a second. If the battery's dead, it takes about 40 to 50 minutes to charge it from a dead battery, but that'll give me somewhere between, I haven't run it straight, but my guess is somewhere between 16 to 19 hours of playtime on the speaker. So we don't recharge these very often. They just sit out on our deck and we use them a couple times a week, which has been super cool. All right, so let's talk about mounting. One thing is, I will say they are super light. I was wondering how weighty they were, because that was going to determine what we could actually hang them on. They're pretty light, pretty mobile. The 2 different mounting systems that you have is you have this, I'll show you really quick on the bottom here. You have the mounting screw. So anything that has a mounting size screw, you can actually screw it onto. So if it's a light stand or a tripod or anything like that, you can also attach this to. They have this wall attachment right here that turns it into a sconce light, which is pretty cool. It sits on the mount just like that, and then you can mount this to your wall or to a board or something like that, and then just have it sit on it just like that. And that's cool. I think the sconce is really cool. This has a full ball head right here, so you can move this around, adjust it, and find what works for you. I already showed you the S-clip that comes with it. And then you also have a ground mount. So this is essentially 3 different pieces that it comes with. You have the stake right here that goes into the pole, and then you have a connector right there, and then this is the height of the pole, which you can put that into the ground, and then it's just out in the yard, and that's a really cool way to set it up too. Obviously you see the mount screw right there on the top. You would just mount the lantern to the top of the stick, just like that, and it works great. So there's so many different ways that you can use this. It adds beautiful ambiance to the yard, both with light and music. We've loved having these outside. I hope this video has been helpful in deciding whether or not this is the right lantern speaker. I don't even know if there are other lantern speakers, but if you like it, I hope you grab it and love it as much as we do. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.